Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. Today we're jumping into the secret lives of Mormon wives. Before we jump in, disclaimer, it is very late my time. I have gone to the doctor's appointment. Indiana Jones went to her doctor's appointment yesterday. So we have back-to-back doctor's appointments. I am a bit tired, but I figured let's end the evening with reviewing this show since I am a week behind. So today is episode 4, and I think the girls are about to go on vacation together, something like that. So let's see what happens.
So I'm really excited because I've been planning a girls trip for my birthday. So we're gonna stay in this really nice little penthouse and have a girls weekend away. How's it gonna be with seeing Taylor?
It's gonna be a boxing match. Ding, 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 who's gonna win?
Well, she's pregnant, so you can't do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's pregnant. I forgot, steal me.
Man, Whitney's got kind of that personality that you want to like her, but she is quite grating, which is interesting. This goes back to this, I think, concept I brought in a couple episodes ago about whether or not Taylor will actually be our new favorite, like actually the one who's more tolerable, because you would think it'd be Whitney, but again, obviously not, just the way she was yesterday. And last episode, last time I reviewed the show, wow, I'm so out of it. I've been so out of it. But the last time I reviewed the show, she was so mean to Demi, I believe, who she got the gift for. So kind of interesting to see that her attitude is just getting more mean girl as the series goes on. I know a lot of you were like, wait till the end, wait till the end. I'm so excited to see where it goes. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see Whitney be such a mean girl still. But let's see.
Taylor, I feel like you're kind of quiet right now.
I'm anxious, like very anxious. I'm gonna pop my anxiety meds when we get there.
I already did.
If there's any like confrontation, like you're stuck with that person for the weekend.
I think sometimes we also look for opportunities like this to have an opportunity to sort of face the person we've had conflict with or to face ourselves in that conflict. So I wonder how many of the girls actually are secretly looking forward to the possibility of the conflict, almost to maybe as a way to clear the air or maybe as a way to continue the drama.
Some hard conversations I need to have with Whitney. I want to know why she didn't come to my baby shower and why there's this elephant in the room.
Wait, at this point, they haven't even had that conversation yet. I guess it's hard to know how they're filming the show, but in my head, they must have already talked about that. But I think in the last episode, she went to Whitney at the pool party and said, hey, can I talk to you later? Oh, so this is really where it's going to go down.
Tensions are high. I have a surprise coming later, so this weekend should be pretty interesting.
Uh-oh.
You and Bradford fight?
We're actually currently in a little bit of a disagreement just over the whole Fruity Pebbles thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he wasn't like a prude about it. He was like, I get it. I want you to be excited. I want you to be able to talk about these things, but I don't want to feel like I have to second guess what I'm about to do in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So I was like, I get that, and I do feel bad because I feel like I like betrayed him in a way.
Okay, that's really good because, yeah, I was a little annoyed that she was sharing his intimacy conversations or stories with other people, especially with us. Because these are real people, these are their real private lives. And even though they do volunteer to be on the television show, it's just, as a public figure myself, I try to be very cautious about what I share about my own marriage or my own life, because I know that involves a person that's, not on the internet. My family isn't on the internet. And so I know it can be difficult because their story is also my story. Their story is also our story, because that wasn't just his story alone. That was also her story. And so it is hard to know, when do I get to tell my story without encroaching on other people's boundaries. And it's always hard to tell. So I appreciate her at least talking to her husband and them having the conversation and her respecting the fact that there is like a vulnerability element to it. Because I get it. I really understand. Yeah, I think I even resented that a little bit, like 10 years ago or whatever. Or even maybe sometimes even currently, where I'm like, it's my story. Why can't I tell my story? It's very frustrating. And that's why you have to be cautious about, when you do things with other people, how much of it gets to be your story and how much of it gets to be something you can tell other people, because maybe you want the freedom to do it. Maybe people use it as a reason to keep you trapped, or people just need privacy. So, okay. So how do you know someone's telling you not to say something because they want to trap you and because they just want to be private? And it's all about healthy, unhealthy. Is it unhealthy for you to keep it a secret? Is it eating you up inside? Or is it healthy and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I would want to be private about that too. Or we agreed, this makes sense to be private. Like before I share a story with you guys, I always talk to my partner if it involves him and I say, hey, I want to tell this story on stream. Is there anything that you want to keep private? Anything that you feel like is too intimate to share? Because it is our story, even though I still want to express my version of it, right?
It does bother me the way that Whitney went about that. It just felt a little tacky. to me.
Yeah.
It was tacky.
Is Whitney level-headed enough to have that conversation with it? Like, how's that conversation gonna go?
Whitney's been one of my really good friends for 2 years now. She likes to think that she's self-aware, but she doesn't take accountability.
Oh, ooh. That's hard. We all think we're self-aware. It's really a humbling moment when you realize you can't be self-aware all the time.
So he's not really the stay-at-home dad right now. Like he's
No, I mean, he is, but I could never see him just being at home 24/7. Because I mean, would Zach ever do that? Like,
no. We definitely still have like our tough days where like we just aren't on the same page.
Yeah.
In his head, I think he thinks, you know, after 15 years, he'll be the provider. So he's like, my job's more important because like I'm gonna be providing for us for life.
but he can't get there without you doing it now.
Exactly. So
Ooh, awkward. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, that is so hard when both people have demanding careers and you never know which one's going to be the long-term career. Yeah, that's hard to say.
I'm currently the breadwinner in my relationship. I'm providing for my kids, my husband, go to medical school, and I definitely think this is super hard for him. Coming from a traditional family,
And they have good intentions, but it comes from a place sometimes of them telling you what you can and can't do.
Yeah, that's interesting because he's going to med school, so he's not going to make money for a while. And then he has to pay off his school debt unless his parents are paying for it. But that must be hard. Yeah, because of that traditional, but also I guess we're assuming her career might fizzle out eventually. The average content creator can exist from anywhere from 2 to 7 years at the height of their career if their influence is sort of specific. Like their influence might be specifically short term, but it can be a long-term gig. You can make it into something long-term. It's just usually not at the height that it was. Like I think even the Kardashians actually technically have gotten a little less popular, even though they're still popular, obviously. I think they've technically lost the momentum a little bit. They might get it back again. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm out of the bubble too long. But I think the last time I checked up on the Kardashians, they're doing well, but they're not doing like they're not the height like they were before. So some YouTubers will say like, oh, your career is only going to last 7 years. It just depends on what you're doing on YouTube. For a lot of us, I watch a lot of older people on YouTube. Like I watch people in their 50s and 60s. So to my brain, like being an older person on the internet makes so much sense, right? I'm on TikTok and my TikTok is older millennials. So it kind of makes sense that that's who I assume I would be, right? Like I don't ever assume I'll fizzle out, but I'm not looking for like millions of dollars in the height of my career. But these girls will eventually, I think, fizzle out. So their husbands probably feel a weird sense of pressure to be providers. But also, what if her career doesn't fizzle out? Is she allowed to maintain it? And that's really hard. It's hard to have kids and run a career. Many of you know. So I wonder if her husband, even after he's a doctor, would be willing for her to keep her job. Because what if she's able to make $100K for the rest of her life doing this? Maybe it's not millions, but maybe it's still 6 figures, which is good. Heck, maybe it's $50K a year. Would that still be good? Or would he prefer for her to eventually not work at all?
Guys, I have something for you. I have a little activity.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. I brought a truth box. This is full 100% honesty tonight, okay? I'm hoping we are able to share if there is existing tension that we're able to be honest.
See how moments like this just add to the tension? Everything was going so well. And then the question is, did she do this on purpose to cause tension? Or is this really genuinely what she thought would help?
No, I'm gonna die. This sucks because this group of girls, even if this is meant to be like lighthearted and good intentions, it's not going to be.
Oh, damn. Oh, see?
If you really want to tell someone the truth, just go say it to their face.
Okay, Whitney, who couldn't even show up to the baby shower.
Truth box. This is the worst idea I've ever heard.
Right?
No,
Like,
they're
it'll be
all
anonymous.
Oh, no.
Leave them anonymous. So I'm gonna pass out the card, write it down on the card, fold it in half, and then just put it back in the box.
Okay.
Just write nice things. But see how they're gonna write negative things? Do not participate. You know what I'm saying? But like, you do you.
Layla, if you could sleep with one of your friend's husbands, who would it be and why?
I don't think, she better not answer.
I'm not gonna go take Brett from him. He wouldn't even give me a chance.
Not to be a Debbie Downer, this is absolutely not an appropriate conversation. Maybe I'm just like an old lady at this point in my life, but absolutely not. You know, I get it if you're poly or open or you're having like, you know, but I couldn't even imagine this being an appropriate conversation in a Mormon bubble. Like or even in a secular bubble where like, it's just like wait. There's an episode. There's an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? I've seen a clip of it on TikTok where they try to play a game like this, like whose spouse would you sleep with? But it just gets, but like they're not supposed to answer. They're supposed to say like, oh, I'd sleep with my wife, or they're supposed to get really cute and romantic. And then the guy answers like who it would be. Anyways, it's not comfortable. There's a lot of, it's very tension. No. I don't know. This feels very inappropriate.
What he did. I would never. But theoretically, if you guys weren't together, I would climb him like a tree.
She's like, I'd be Maud's stepmom.
All right, next.
Jen, which girl in this room would you go lesbian for? Prove it! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Can they be gay? You can't be gay in Mormon, can you? This question, a little less harmful because they're all just hanging out. Unless being gay is like super anti-Mormonism, then it's like maybe taboo. But I feel like this question is much more appropriate because it's just like for fun. It's just the girls. It's not like somebody else is involved. But also it's not like about getting in between somebody's marriage. It's just about like, oh, haha, who'd you go gay for? Haha. It's like kind of funnier. Yeah, there's like an episode of Sex and the City where the girls are kind of having this conversation like, oh, I'd definitely go gay for you, Charlotte, or I'd definitely go gay for you, Carrie, you know, something like that. And then it's like pretty funny because they don't pick Miranda, and then Miranda gets her feelings hurt. Anyway, shout out to Sex and the City.
It's Tay.
I've never done that. Kiss. Every time someone's reading a card, my heart.
Why don't you like Taylor? Are you just jealous of her clout?
Who wrote that? Who did Whitney write it to herself? Who wrote it?
Oh my gosh.
Literally, in my mind, I'm like, shit.
I don't think I'm jealous of Taylor's clout. I think I was jealous of the forgiveness that Taylor got
During that time of her whole swinger drama.
that I feel like I didn't get.
Wait, forgiveness for what?
Just like the RSV video.
What? What video? What's the RSV video?
2 weeks after I had given birth, Connor took Liam to our pediatrician. The doctor is testing his oxygen levels, and the doctor's like, these are scarcely low. Like, you need to take him to you need to take him to the emergency room. The first couple of days were a bit scary, but then he was getting better. And so I'm thinking,
No, this isn't the viral TikTok video of the girl dancing when her kid's in the hospital, is it? This isn't Whitney, is it?
like, let's, do something fun. And I made a video.
No way! That's Whitney? That's Whitney? Oh my God, I never knew that was her. I don't know, sending prayers, but what happened? So confused. He tested positive for RSV, but he was doing better. I can't believe she's the one who made the video. Oh my gosh, I feel, whoa, I never knew The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was more in my life than I knew. I never knew this. Yeah, my family makes a lot of jokes when things are going badly. I think it helps alleviate the pain. And sometimes it is insensitive and sometimes it makes things worse. But most of the time, it does help alleviate a lot of stress. But I won't lie, I can see why people are upset because they're probably like in their worried space. But sometimes I think, yeah, it just depends on the perspective you're coming from. Wow, I cannot believe this is Whitney. Oh my gosh, I'm shook.
In that video, people felt that I was using my child's sickness for clout and for attention.
And then I just feel like I still get shredded to pieces almost every single video.
Wow, I can't believe that's her. Yeah, I will say people are really sensitive about kids, and people are just very sensitive around children. And I think that it makes sense that they would feel so activated in an angry way, obviously, about the video. This is why it's important not to use your children online in general. I think that even when it's something positive, people will find a reason to tear you apart. I think it's a very sensitive thing to put your kids online. I personally wouldn't do it if I had children, maybe the back of their head, maybe something like that. Yeah, I think the temptation to use your kids is there for clout because children, family vlogs, stuff like that does very well online. I think these women are a testament to that. Yeah, interesting. Must be difficult to know when is the right decision to be goofy on the internet and when isn't the right decision. I guess it just depends on the content creator you want to be. But I think the reason people were easier to forgive Taylor is just because it involved a bunch of adults who consensually were swinging, right? It's like no kids were involved. So, that's not going to anger it's not going to anger a lot of people. It's going to anger a lot of people when they feel like you're being disrespectful to a kid. It's kind of the same way I feel about, how Logan Paul used his child's birth to promote Lunchly and Prime, and people were really upset about that. I think it's not something I would do because that's not my values. Like, obviously I don't even share my spouse on the internet. You think I'm going to share my baby? But at the same time, that's the kind of people that they are. They're those people, right? Like his wife is one of those people. Don't feel bad for her. Logan Paul's wife is signing up for this life with him. She's marrying Logan Paul. So people were like, oh my gosh, his wife must be devastated. Do you think she would marry Logan Paul and not be exactly like him? She was probably like, oh my God, baby, let's talk about Prime during the birthing. Like, I think some people just don't want to understand that other people don't live like them. And I tried to accept that some people, even if I think it's wrong, like they're going to think it's right.
But no, I'm not jealous of Taylor's clout. And I feel like if I don't like her, I feel like that's a completely different conversation for a different time.
I am very confused because I'm like, girl, you have no idea the amount of bullying, threats, and comments that I have received on a daily basis up until today on how awful of a person I am. So I think I got way more trash.
Oh my gosh, this competing, like who got the more backlash, so silly. It doesn't matter. You're going to get it. You want to be a content creator? Get ready for the backlash. Like, get ready for the backlash. It doesn't matter who you are. The internet will cancel you. It is because you are dealing with different bubbles. Also, this like, I get it more than you do. You get it more than I do. It's like, this is the downside of the job. The one downside of the job is you do have to wake up every day and get customer feedback or audience feedback in a way that feels really, really difficult. Like no other job do you wake up every day and just get like, you wake up to like messages telling you to unalive yourself, right? I mean, some jobs obviously. But this is the only part of the job that I really think is, quote, the hardest. Everything is just normal hard. Every job is hard. Everyone's job is hard. It's just some jobs have features of that job that make it unique. And I think this is one of those jobs. Like, right? My dad doesn't go to work every day with thousands of comments of feedback from his customers. Like that's, or you know what I mean? That's not how his job works. So I don't know very many people who have that direct sort of pushback. Like I think about it with my job, and the reason why we're putting down more boundaries as we move into 2025 is like some people feel entitled to wake up and like yell at me. And you think that like that's so funny because like in what other job can you just wake up and yell at somebody at their job and not be considered rude? So it's just like the social media landscape is really difficult because it's basically normalized harassment. Like you normalize yelling at content creators versus if you yelled at a McDonald's employee like this, like how offensive. You yelled at a waiter that way, like how offensive. But if it's a content creator, it's normal to send death threats, which is like, what a world, huh?
It's so crazy to me that Whitney's not honest with Taylor about her feelings of jealousy because she is very open about it when Taylor's not around.
Yeah, I was disappointed that Whitney decided to lie there because Whitney did express a few episodes ago the hope of wanting to be more popular, not understanding why Taylor was so popular, which is interesting.
And when asked straight to her face, Whitney lies about it. Come on, girl, the truth has got to come out sometime.
Next question.
Demi, did you ever say that Jen is too Mormon?
I've never said she's too Mormon. I have said that you bring it up in conversation a lot. Can't do that because da-da-da, or like, can't wear that because my garments, or da-da. It's just brought up a lot.
So that would stop you from hanging out with me?
No,
Being
not,
friends with me?
No. Which is funny you were giggling because you were the one that told her this, obviously.
Yeah. Demi actually told me something about you.
Recently?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Messy.
Thing about being very Mormon.
And you guys both agreed. So
Agreed.
No, we did not.
yes, you did.
Absolutely not.
I know
That's
you
not
did
a word.
that.
Well, we didn't,
Second
so
of
don't
all-
say that we did.
Yes, you
No,
did.
we did not. Thought you were friends with Jen.
I was friends with Jen, but then when I brought it up, you said, I totally understand where you're coming from. She can be that way.
Did I say that, Macy? Did I say that?
She wasn't.
I don't remember.
Talk to Jen. You guys work it out.
No,
and let her
don't
be
be
aware
that
of that.
bitch.
You know, when you're a supportive kind of listener, you might, I do this is a fault of mine, that I'm like a very supportive listener. Even if I'm disagreeing with you on the outside, I look like I'm supporting you, but that's because like I want to be supportive for you, but not necessarily in agreement with you. And I'm trying to stop doing that because I don't want to be a bad friend, but it also like makes people think I'm agreeing with them when I'm not. So maybe it's one of those, or maybe it's something more like malicious, because I don't know with Whitney what exactly isn't malicious at this point, or some sort of ill intent. I'm not sure. Interesting. Stuff like this is so fascinating because like when they said, oh, I thought you were friends with her. What is a friend? What is a friend indeed?
I'm solid in who I am, and I don't need to go around saying I am Mormon.
You know, growing up in a Catholic bubble is so interesting because you can always tell the Catholics where like everything is Catholic for them. The shows they watch, the people they're with, the music they listen to, their hobbies. You can always tell the Catholics who like it's their whole life and the Catholics that it's not their whole life. And to be fair, I do think if you're religious, I feel like it kind of should be your whole life because like, think about it. You think it like a God exists. So I kind of feel like if you actually believe in a God, it kind of should be your whole life, but also you do you, girl. I don't believe in no God. But yeah, in Catholicism, we call it like lukewarm Catholics or fallen away Catholics, or technically, because I've been confirmed and baptized, I'll always be a fallen away Catholic, even though I haven't gone to church. Like I left the church at 19. So kind of old, kind of young. Like I left the church a long, long time ago. I'm 35 years old. So for me, I'm so far removed from the bubble, but at the same time, like once a Catholic, always a Catholic. Like I still feel nostalgia when I'm like around Catholic things. Like if the Catholic music comes on, girl, I be singing. So it is one of those things where I think it's probably similar in the Mormon bubble. Her facial expressions have been so good this whole time. She's so funny. But I will say that I think it can feel like a competition with certain people. I love to see people be devout in their religion. But also I do get a little annoyed at like the people that are half in, half out. It's like, girl, make a decision, girl. Make a decision. It's like they want the credit for be fully in, but they won't be fully in. That's kind of what I feel like is happening right now. Where I think I'm kind of on Jen's side with this. Like if Jen wants to be full Mormon, girl, you go full out. But if Demi wants to be half in, half out, like decisions were made, right? Did I get their names right? I feel like I'm still learning their names.
You will wear that as like a badge of honor. And to me, it's kind of gaggy.
Okay, what's frustrating is that you didn't confront me first.
Oh, saying it's kind of gaggy to be like really Mormon is so anti-Mormon, right? Isn't that kind of like the point? Now, you don't want to be cringe about your thing, but you also don't want to be ashamed of your thing either, whatever your thing is, right?
And I feel like now you're like notorious for doing this for a lot of people, like calling Taylor white trash.
Oh.
When Whitney told me that Demi said I was too Mormon for her, she also told me that Demi called Taylor white trash.
Man, Whitney has a big mouth. He
called Taylor white trash.
That's kind of hard.
That's really hard.
You don't just say
I wouldn't even say that. I don't like Taylor.
It seems like you keep doing this.
They are out for me specifically. None of you are standing here clean, and I'm getting pretty frustrated because Whitney was the one telling all this information.
Whitney, who's your least favorite in the group and why?
Oh, God. Honestly, I feel like right now it's Demi.
Oh.
I just feel like any truth I say, you say, no, you agreed with me, you said this. And I'm like, but I didn't say that. I don't know. It's Demi right now.
Box is done. God bless.
Amen.
We made it through without ripping each other's heads off.
I love that was my idea, and I feel like I just got obliterated.
Okay, karma is not instant. It's your life reflected back to you, but in this moment, your life is being reflected back to you. You shouldn't have done this box.
This morning is already uncomfortable because of last night. There is animosity in the air. I think that Whitney and I definitely need to sit down and have a conversation and get to the bottom of it. I'm tired of feeling this like uncomfort with group settings. Are you stressed?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Why?
I don't know. Don't punch me.
I'm not gonna like come at you screaming unless you scream at me.
Whitney is so, you know what's frustrating about Whitney? She like throws a water balloon on you and then she's like, oh my God, don't punch me back or don't throw a water balloon on me. She'll go after Taylor time and time again. And then she'll sit here and pretend like, oh my God, Taylor, I'm so scared of you. Don't hurt me. And I'm like, it's interesting. She's kind of a baby.
Start with the baby showers when I truly like figure it out, but I feel like you're really good at telling people how you feel about them straight up. So I'm just curious, like, why I haven't been told.
I mean, honestly, I didn't tell you because I didn't feel like I needed to.
Which is crazy, by the way. What a weird decision to make that you're not going to tell somebody in a social dynamic that, hey, I'm going to start being really weird about you when I have to be around you all the time.
I just felt like I was fine with where we were at. I didn't feel like I wanted to explain it. I just felt like that was an intimate thing for you and that was for close friends and family, and I don't feel like I'm your close friend.
I'm confused on what I did. There's something that like sparked you to not like me, and I just was curious what it was.
Right after the swinger drama came out, I feel like I was like trying to cultivate a relationship with you.
Okay.
I was trying to be there for you or trying to include you because I know you were ostracized from that group. I don't know. I just felt like it hasn't been reciprocated. And I was like, well, I don't want to be friends with someone like that then. It's exhausting.
Probably girls down there that you're not besties with, but does it like...
I'm not besties with, but I've definitely had more of a connection with them. I want to be asked, what happened with you and Connor? Like, are you okay? Like,
I feel like I have.
Oh, I wonder if it's that they're not having real conversations. Because I will say, like, you know, when I meet people and they're really nice and they reach out and say, hey, how have you been? How have things been? I'm not always open to reciprocating. Like, I don't always want to open up to them like specifically, but maybe people assume that I do because maybe they open up to me. I very much do pick and choose like who I open up to and what I open up to people about. Like, I definitely have friends that I talk to about specific things versus other friends, just because I think like they'll be able to handle. Like, I try to go to the friends that I think would have the wisdom to handle things. But also, generally speaking, when you're making friendships with people, a lot of people base general friendships on shared intimacy, not exactly secrets, but something that says like, hey, like, how are you? But I can see how in some social situations, something like this, you wouldn't necessarily want to have that with all of the girls. Because remember, if they each have that with one another, that's all of the girls plus all of their family members plus that's a lot of emotional labor, plus their family and friends, plus their friends outside of mom talk. That's a lot of emotional labor. So let's say, this is how I like to think about it. Let's say all of the people who are the closest to you call you for a 2 a.m. emergency. Which ones do you prioritize? How do you prioritize people? Right? And that's what's so difficult is that if let's say they're all besties together in this group and all of them need each other at the same time, what direction do you move in? That's what's so difficult about social expectations. So Whitney is saying, I want to be closer to you, and I try to be closer to you, but you wouldn't be closer to me. Taylor's saying, I don't need to be closer to you to feel like we're close enough for you to come to my baby shower.
Her issue with herself, honestly. Like, I think it's just that she feels like she's comparing herself to Taylor and isn't living up to what the hype that Taylor's getting. And so she's comparing. And why is she getting the attention? Why is the public forgiving her quicker than me?
Would she say, like, I was frustrated that I keep getting shit for my RSV video and, like, people forgive you super quick?
I still think it's just because there's a baby involved. People feel justified in getting mad when it comes to kids. Like, it depends on how your family handles death, but also the baby was getting better. If the baby was dying and the baby wasn't going to make it, then I can understand why people would be very upset. But since the baby was doing better, it feels like, haha, worst day of my life just happened. Worst day of my life. Like, it feels like a joke. Do you know, like a cope joke? But I can see if the baby was really sick and dying, like, oh, that'd be kind of sad to like make a TikTok dance about a dying baby. Maybe because I have the context of the baby not dying, and like I knew the baby hadn't died when I saw the video on the internet, so I never processed it as like a baby dying. I always processed it as like a baby who was sick but getting better. Yeah, maybe that's it.
That day, she said that Liam was like doing a lot better, so she was happy. So she was trying to make like a happy video, and like it just wasn't like what her intention was not what was received.
She's like, no, my intention was to get likes and clout.
I mean, your intention is always to get likes and clout. Clout's a weird word, but if you're an entertainment YouTuber, TikToker, like you're not making, like you don't have work, like a body of work, you're not like an everyday streamer, an everyday content creator, not like Good Mythical Morning, then your job is to get clout. If you're only trying to get famous all of the time, if every video you put out, you're hoping for it to go viral, then that's all you're doing. But if you're somebody who's like here to make the content, here for longevity, here not just to chase clout, like all of us want views, but that's not the primary focus of a lot of content creators. Like I would never say I watch the Vlogbrothers aren't primarily there for views. I don't make content primarily for views. Like we make content because we love it and we're going to do it whether it gets views or not, right? They, I think, are probably only going to do it if it makes money and views. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of them really found a niche. They really love it. They want to do it till they're 80. I don't know. But it seems kind of disingenuous for people to be like, I can't believe you're just doing this for clouts and views. Like if you're a viral YouTuber, if you're a YouTuber who just wants to go viral, that's all you're ever doing it for, which I kind of think internet TikTokers are. But I would have to ask the girls is that what kind of a content creator you are, right? Or maybe in that moment, she was just hoping for someone to connect to her. But that's the don't put your kids on the internet. There, I solved all your problems. Don't put your kids on the internet.
She admitted that to me. I've never heard her say that.
It was after their kind of.
Oh, wait. Now Demi's saying that she admitted it was for likes and clout. Well, but like, isn't that what it should? I feel like sometimes when I categorize people think I'm giving my like opinion about the situation. So just a reminder, you should not put your kids on the internet. if you were a content creator who would be willing to put your kids on the internet, you're always looking for clout and views. So if she said that, that would still make sense, because why else would you even post? Guys, I don't even know why normie people post anything to the internet, because like, don't you know strangers are going to see your kids? I always tell people in my life, take your baby off the internet, bro. Weirdos are looking at your kids. Take your kids off the internet. That's why I don't think people should be able to put their kids on the internet in general. I don't think kids should be on the internet, but this is why she's doing it. It's not, if you think it's immoral for her to put her kids on the internet for clouts and views, then you're taking the stance of no children should be on the internet, period. It's not that he's sick. It's that he's on the internet.
Whitney and I did ketamine about 8 months ago, which is therapy for physical trauma or emotional trauma. And coming out of ketamine, you are feeling things very deeply. Truths are coming out about,
or maybe not truths. I think we have to be very careful about anything with drugs, because not all people are honest when they're intoxicated. Lots of people are actually not honest. I always think I'm the least honest when I'm intoxicated or when I'm tired. Like, I'm not I'm the most honest when I'm well slept, well fed, and like centered, because I'm the most grounded. Otherwise, I'm just like a biological mess who's like interacting with alcohol or interacting with drugs. Like, I think it's really bad to judge people when they're intoxicated. I don't think that's ever the honest you. And I think studies show that. I don't know if the data has come out, but I swear the last time I looked at it, like, you are not more honest when you're drunk. So ketamine, drugs, ayahuasca, DMT, like, I want to hear from you when you're sober. Thank you. I don't care what you say to me when you're high or drunk. Like, I don't believe you. And I'm not saying you can't confess things when you're loosey-goosey and you have no discipline. I'm saying that I take it with a grain of salt. How about that?
who maybe wouldn't otherwise admit. And in that moment, she admitted to me that video that she posted was for sympathy, likes, clout.
Her and Logan Paul should try to do a deal together. Whitney is in the business to be famous. Like, Whitney is, I'm not trying to defend her. I'm trying to explain it to people. But I don't know why everyone's like taking some moral high ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, birds of a feather flock together. But I get it, because some of them have more nuanced value differences than the others. I just think it's funny that Whitney was invited to the Saints party and she's not considered one of the sinners.
I didn't want to hear anyone else's. I just wanted everyone there to be there for me for just...
I'm actually glad I got called out on that, because now when I'm listening to people's stuff, I'm like, I want to relate, but I also just want to kind of like validate their feelings first and then maybe relate, you know?
Some people are relators, like they relate and that's how they feel connected to people. I feel that way. A lot of my friends and I, when we're telling stories, we're like, oh my God, me too. And then that feels really good because we're both relating. But then some people just want to be listened to without interruption, and that's also valid. So you just have to know who you're talking to.
Whitney tends to dismiss your feelings or even gaslight you.
Ooh, gaslight's a big word. Dismiss your feelings or even gaslight you. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised as well if Whitney is actually using her sort of, and maybe I'm falling for it a little bit by not understanding the baby dance video. Maybe the way she's explaining it is a part of the manipulation.
When you express that certain things happened and that you felt a certain way, she seems to flip the script and somehow become the victim of her own chaos.
Oh, I could see that. Ooh, I can see that.
And I'm sick of it.
But I feel like when I told you my whole Connor thing, I got 0.
Wait, 0 from who?
Everyone.
I don't agree with that. I remember reaching out to you.
I feel like Taylor doesn't care about me, and I don't want to be around someone like that.
I don't know how you expect me to work on this when I had no idea any of this, and same with Demi. Like,
but I don't expect you to work from this. That's what I'm saying.
No, through all this time,
just leave it as it is.
Whitney just needs to say with her full chest, I don't want to be friends with you. I'm happy to work with you. She's making, see, this is why Taylor's confused, because it makes it sound like Whitney is implying that if Taylor did something different, they could be friends. But the truth is like Taylor can't do anything to make Whitney be her friend. So Whitney's sort of like lying in this way, and not just outright saying like, no matter what you do, I will not be your friend, which is very frustrating.
Anything. I didn't want to say anything.
But you did to everyone else. You'll bring other people's stuff up to other people, like the Jen situation. Like, you'll take something that I said that I, by the way, told you not to say anything, and you said, I swear on my life I won't say it.
You were the one that did the truth box. I never, ever brought that up. I told Jen, and she can do with it whatever she wants to do with that.
Yeah, but why did you feel the need to tell Jen? Like, I didn't go to Taylor being like, Whitney feels this way. She knew that. I don't know how.
And if you did, I wouldn't care.
Okay, but you're sitting here saying that you don't care to have the conversation, that you don't care to remedy these things, but then you're gonna like shit on Taylor behind her back, and then you're gonna come at me for something I said about
How
Taylor.
am I shitting on her? Everything I've said about her, I just said to her face right now.
Just now? But for the last 2 years, she has.
Whoa. Whitney is something else. Wow. Wow. She is something else. Interesting. I wonder how her brain operates. Yeah, I'm trying not to be too judgmental because I just don't know these girls and this is my first time seeing them. But I would say I'd be interested to see how her brain works. Yeah. I wonder if she went to therapy for her marriage stuff. I wonder if she's gone to therapy at all, because I feel like therapy could be useful for a lot of these girls.
Hasn't heard a word of it. We're the ones hearing.
Does that bother you? Does that bother you that I didn't tell you?
Yeah, it bothered me that you didn't come to my shower. Just tell me like, hey, I don't want to be friends with you. Like, I thought we were friends. So when you didn't show up, I was like, it was a big deal.
Well, I don't regret anything. I'm glad I told Jen. I don't think that was wrong. I'd still do it.
Okay, well then you're a shitty friend.
I mean...
And then I guess don't be my friend.
Okay, I don't want to be your friend.
Is she shutting down? Is she denying herself vulnerability? Is she just... Yeah, is she this like the gaslighting? Like, what is this?
That's the way you're gonna be. That's not a friend.
Did you not just call Taylor white trash? Were you planning on addressing that to Taylor?
No, but was that your place to say?
It wasn't.
And you don't care. You don't give a shit.
I wish I could say I'm surprised by Whitney's behavior right now, but I'm absolutely not.
She needs to own it, apologize, work on it, and move forward. It's, again, one of these things where she wants to become the victim of her own behavior.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, interesting. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get to the end of the series. So interested to see how they tie it all together.
You're hurt, and that's okay. I've been there. Where you don't want to give a fuck.
But you're hurt from, like, you're hurt but in life, and so you're gonna take it out on everyone? I don't get that.
I get it.
I don't want to talk about it. She's hurt you. I've never hurt Whitney, ever.
I have. But I get, like, where...
And then runs away.
I mean,
So,
I'd like to
I guess
talk.
I'm right. I guess I'm right.
Interesting. So Demi's looking for like validation and sort of like a little bit of retaliation or revenge because, you know, Whitney did that whole prank on the box thing, which is not cute with the Fruity Pebbles. It's almost like she's trying to stand up for herself by going after Whitney. Man, a mediator or like a therapist would really help right now.
I hate the shit of you can dish it, but you can't take it.
I couldn't hear everything. What's wrong?
She thinks it's her place to tell everyone other people's shit.
And then as we're having a heated conversation, gets up, cries, and leaves.
Yeah, Whitney has that energy of like, ooh, tell me this so I can go tell everybody else. And then it's like she wants to be, ooh, wait. Oh, I have this perfect image in my head of who she is in terms of the character in the TV show. Who is like that? They're kind of like... They're like a mixture of sort of like a pick-me, but for girls. And they're always the friend that's like kind of listening to everyone's conversations, but like taking the information. They want to be everyone's best friend, but they're no one's friend in the end because they don't have like the values to be upstanding. Like, who is that? Oh, I have an image in my head, maybe from Recess, or there's a character in my head I'm imagining. Do you guys know who I might be referencing? Where they're always willing, you know, oh yeah, Whitney's like pretending to be everyone's friend, but she's no one's friend, not even a friend to herself.
The way that Whitney talks and changes her persona in the moment of like, I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, she was being a little like...
Be yourself.
Yeah, because
Who
it's
are
so
you right
different to us, and then to her, it's
No,
so
it's like you want to talk about fake and behind people's back.
Yeah.
Whitney, you scare me.
I feel like such a pussy right now.
Why?
You're fine.
Hurt and you need space, and that's like totally valid.
How does it feel, Whitney? I literally want to go ask her. How does it feel? And I try to talk to you about it upstairs. You're just like, and I do it again, and I do it again. You're a bitch.
No, I'm stronger than this. Like,
You are
so
strong.
stupid.
Just because you're crying doesn't mean you're not strong.
It's better to walk away than to say,
Yo, Layla always trying to stay out of the trouble. She's funny. Like, it's funny which ones like always like don't get involved and like which ones are always in the forefront of it all.
Everything about anyone,
Demi,
everyone
can you
else.
just get out of the room,
No,
please?
I won't. Nope, because you're talking about me, so no, I won't.
Demi, she needs some space right now.
No, I
Yes,
don't
she
care.
does.
Where was she
Well,
last night when
but-
she shit on me when I was literally getting attacked by everyone?
But you know
Where
what?
was she? What was she
You
doing?
need to just respect that.
What the f are you talking talking about, Jen? Shut up.
Guys, we're both going at each other. So
Yeah.
why are you being so rude now?
I'm confused at where Whitney stands, and I thought we were friends, and that's not what a friend would do.
Because I told Jen what you said.
You go around the whole
I
group
didn't-
telling
I
everyone's
didn't-
everything.
And when she says stuff about Taylor, it's really mean behind Taylor's back. And then when it's face to face, she's like, oh yeah, I get it.
Maybe a social anxiety as well. I think a lot of people feel it. They feel this, like everyone always talks a big game. Like I'd say it to their face. But then when given the opportunity, everyone always gets like nicer person to person. So maybe it's just like an anxiety thing, or maybe it's a two-faced thing, or maybe it's manipulative. Like I don't know. I'm sure you guys know if you've been watching the show, but I don't know.
I don't think it's fair that you can act that way and it's okay when it's not okay for Demi to do. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like Whitney gets close to you until she gets what she wants and then she just moves on. That's just my opinion.
And that's some people are like that. Some people are those people in the story. Is Whitney that person? That's not a good person you want around. So that's the question, because that's a pretty big accusation, honestly.
I just wanted to sit you down so you can express all of it. So I know with you, like I know you're saying you're not caring, but I find that hard to believe. I think you want to. I think I just hurt you really bad. Maybe I can't be your best friend right now, but I could still here and there be a friend to you.
Yeah. I don't even know what's right and what's wrong anymore. I thought that I was doing the right thing, telling Jen, this is Demi's feelings towards you. It's a bit two-faced, because then she's acting like your friend, surface level, but then going behind your back. I don't know. I don't know. It's confusing. I don't know what was right and I don't know what was wrong.
Do we believe her? Is Whitney not picking up on the social dynamics? It's hard to know when to speak up for people. It really is. I mean, I'm sure you guys know how hard it is socially in these group dynamics. It's hard. I can't tell with Whitney. She could be either one for me. I can't tell with her. I can't tell if it's vindictive or it's just like ignorant. It feels, I don't know, because the painting of the show could be manipulating us to think of her a certain way. But then the girls are saying she's this way. So I kind of trust the girls to tell me if that's their experience.
Weren't we supposed to go to dinner at 6?
Oh, shit.
Do we go?
Yeah, we have to go.
Okay.
But I do think Whitney has an interesting way of handling things. I definitely wouldn't have handled things the way she has. And I think she kind of just like leaves when things get hard instead of trying to really figure them out. And
Okay, because I wondered about that as well, but I know that's not true technically in some ways. Like her husband got pretty hard, but she stayed. So I wonder what that was about. But then I wonder if she's actually has difficulty in confrontation, because I know it's easier said than done to be in conflict or confronting. I don't actually think it's as easy as people think it is. So that's kind of interesting to me.
I feel bad for Macy because her birthday is being ruined. I think there are times where you should just like kind of suck it up for other people. So I think in this situation for Macy's dinner, everyone just shutting up and let's enjoy the night for Macy. Rub some dirt on it and we can cry when we get home.
We're taking pictures, Layla.
Oh, you are. They have a
That's what I'm
pizza
getting.
appetizer.
Yeah, I don't understand why she's still crying even at the restaurant. I think that definitely needs some therapy, right? There's just no reason for Whitney to be this sad. Even though everyone is ganging up on her, she must understand why that's happening. I feel like she's genuinely confused about the social dynamics, or she's really playing it up for attention. Like, this is either the most manipulative person or she is genuinely confused. Why is she crying at this restaurant? Why is she even still sad? Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I almost believe she's genuinely confused in a way. But maybe that's just because I don't want to believe that she's that manipulative, that she would be crying here at the restaurant still.
It's a bit lonely when you feel like all of the friends that I thought I had, I guess they're not really my friends.
What? Do you know what I mean? She's so dramatic. What? These friends, they're not really my friends. It feels like she's distorting. I'm not a therapist. I don't know what she's doing, but she's in a different movie. It feels like all the girls are in one movie and Whitney's in another movie and they're having a crossover episode, but Whitney isn't processing that like they're not even in the same movie. Like what is she even talking about? Like, I thought these were all my friends, but they're not. They are all your friends. You had a whole group of women supporting you in that bathroom or whatever that room was. And they're just mad at you for gossiping about them, but she can't handle it. So then she's like, none of them were my friends. And I'm like, what? That's so interesting. Yeah, Whitney's got to go to therapy.
I'm looking at Demi and I'm just like, You look like you're on cloud 9 right now. I have to pee real fast. Everyone is acting like everything's fine. It's sad.
Is she autistic? She's not following the social script. The social script, now we pretend like everything's fine because now we're in public. And it's a birthday. And we can come back to this later. Yeah, she's not following this is a social script that even I understand. Like, we just had a fight. Let's act like everything's fine because genuinely we can't be fighting in public. We'll come home and talk about it later. And I'm okay with that. I think it's appropriate. They probably already told the restaurant, hey, we're filming in your restaurant. They probably couldn't have skipped dinner. It would have been rude to the restaurant who needed the publicity. I'm sure there are a lot of like requirements that are happening right now, like a lot of obligations because they are filming a show. So I guess everybody else is like, fuck it, we're going to have a good night tonight. And Whitney is just, I can't believe it. It's so sad. We're not having a real conversation. Now is not the time. She doesn't know what's appropriate. Oh, maybe it's Whitney doesn't know what's appropriate. Yeah, she's either the most manipulative person I've seen, or she's genuinely confused about like what is appropriate. Interesting, huh? Because remember, like there are other people in this restaurant. It would be inappropriate to have a fight in this restaurant. Thank you.
Thought I was stronger than that. I can't even sit there. You can't. No, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna.
She's talking to the producer right now. And she's like, I don't even know if I can sit there. And the producer said, you can. She goes, no, I'll be fine. I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused on why it escalated to this point.
I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. I think I just need to cry for a second.
I know. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to cry and then I'll be okay.
Be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need anything?
No, I'm okay.
And she keeps saying, I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I was stronger than this. What is that about? Right? I don't think she needs to be strong. I think she's being unreasonable about the situation. And unreasonable meaning like as if she's surprised. Like all the girls got eaten up tonight. Demi got completely ganged up on. And Whitney got one afternoon of being confronted and she can't handle it after dishing out wanting to be the mom, like the lead mom of TikTok.
I feel like she kind of needs to feel the sting of what her actions can bring.
But she doesn't feel bad for the other people. She's feeling bad for herself. She does. She needs to understand she's impacted people, but she doesn't feel bad for them. She doesn't feel bad about what she did. As of right now, the way Whitney, the way she's expressing it is she feels bad. She feels bad. I can't believe I'm not strong right now. I just feel this way. I can't believe I don't have friends. She's making it about herself, which is what they were upset about. And she's doing it right now in this moment.
So it's like, Whitney, that's exactly what we're talking about. It doesn't feel good.
I know when I'm in the wrong. I was not wrong.
Oh, in the double down. Okay.
If this is what mom talk has turned into, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't even know if these friendships are worth fighting for.
I mean, even if they were a healthy dynamic, it might not be worth networking or friending for. It might not be worth it to her. But interesting. Interesting that she doubled down. Wow. Okay. That's the end of the episode. Not sure what's going to happen next, but excited to see, is Whitney the villain? I mean, they were kind of framing it that she would end up being the villain, but also, I don't know. It's so weird. Like I kind of wanted to like her in the beginning, and then it's kind of hard to know what I'm liking. I'm not really sure who Whitney is. Like, I feel like I have a good understanding of who everyone is, but I don't understand Whitney. I think I keep understanding her, and then I lose her. And maybe that's the issue with her whole friendship dynamic problems. Maybe the issue is that nobody knows who Whitney is. And that's what keeps getting confusing because you think you know her and then you don't. Interesting. So excited to see the next episode. Thank you for being patient as I get these out to you guys. And with that said, I am done. It is midnight. I'm going to go to bed and get ready for stream tomorrow. And yeah, let me know in the comment sections down below if you have any thoughts about what I've said this episode. I still cannot believe she's the girl from the TikTok. Like, I am shook that I'm now putting it together. Anyways, okay, I'm going to head out. Thanks for watching. Bye.
My head in real life while in bed, my belly's being fed and I'm okay. I'm just fine, yet all I do is whine. Not to you in my mind, cause I know I don't make sense. I've been nothing but blessed, so why's my life a mess? Please tell me, cause I'm sick of thinking, yeah, I'm I'm sick of reaching out for the truth and living life as a fool. Dun, da, 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 da.